are powers on Earth too hidden to be seen, and conspiracies too vast to comprehend. For years, the world has seen fact distorted, reality manipulated, and the truth concealed. Join the Pierre Sebak podcast to uncover the real meanings behind ancient aliens and their symbolism.
Hi, this is Pierre Sebak, unlocking the keys to the mysteries. Now today I'm going to be doing a little bit of symbolism on the Seraphim. In particular, I'm going to look at astro-theological symbolism. Now this came about as a result of one of my viewers mentioned that the Seraphim had 6 wings, and they were very interested in terms of the significance of the 6 wings. This is an astrological signifier, and we're going to look into this in a moment once I've read you a short passage with reference to the Seraphim. So when we look at Isaiah in chapter 6, verse 1 to 3, we see that the Seraphim have 6 wings, and they are as follows. So I'm just going to read this from my Bible. So in the year that King Uzziah died, I saw also the Lord sitting upon a throne, high and lifted up. Now the wording I saw here is Ra. Again, this is the sun god in the Egyptian pantheon, but Ra is really a wordplay on Yira Yahweh. Yahweh sees, which was another title for Yahweh. And again, Yira is a reference to or the Erin, which are the watchers or the shining ones, which can be understood to be a type of seraphim, hence the correspondence between Sopheth, a watcher, and Seraph, and Serapha, which is fire, which would be a shining one. So the Lord was sitting upon a throne, high and lifted up. Now this can really be understood to be a throne chariot, hence this would be a wheel, the Ophanim wheels. Okay, so this is a throne, but in symbolism it's typically combined with a wheel to represent the throne chariot, okay, the Ophanim wheels. And his train filled the temple. Above it stood the Seraphim. Again, we can mention that the temples were laid out according to boat signifiers as well, and this is translated also within the modern church. So you've got a nave within the modern church, and navis, which is a boat. Again, within the Greek etymologies as well, nous, a temple, is related to nos, which is a boat. So there are these signifiers. Again, religion, relegate, more a vessel. You've got worship, ship again, which is a referential to the angelic angels and the veneration of these angelic ships. So I saw also the Lord sitting upon a throne, high and lifted up, and his train filled the temple. Above it stood the Seraphim. Each one had 6 wings. With twain he covered his face, and with twain he covered his feet, and with twain he did fly. And one cried unto another, and said, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of the host. Yahweh Sabaoth is the Lord of the hosts. As we said before, there is this connection between Sabaoth host, Sevet, a crew, Tevar, which is an ark or a vessel, and the whole earth is full of his glory. Again, this idea of a shining one would be a deity. It has a strong connotation of the Seraphim. We mentioned in my previous video on the Seraphim the correspondence between the etymology of Yahweh and the etymology of a serpent. And the posts of the door moved at the voice of him that cried, and the house was filled with smoke. Again, in the Arabic, dukhan, which is smoke, is a wordplay on drakon. Again, the smoke is used to represent a signifier of a jinn, of those who materialize. Again, in the Arabic, you have this correspondence between Sauda, which is black, Shed, which is goblin, ghost or ghoul, and then you've got the Shedim. Again, within also the Latin as well, you have the Nubagina, those who are born from a cloud, Nubia, which is which is to marry. Nubes, which is a cloud, again would relate to the nymphs. Nympholeptos, which is to steal to be stolen by the nymphs. So as we can see there, it's a passage, it's replete with symbolism, particularly scatological symbols of ships, boats and vessels. And as we can also see within the passage of Isaiah in chapter 6, the seraphim are described with 6 wings, and trying to peel back the layers of the symbolism and trying to understand what the 6 wings actually convey is actually very difficult. Now I'm going to be putting some of this information in my dictionary which I'm compiling, which is called The Serpent Speaks. So at some point this information will be published as well. Now the 6 wings of the seraphim, we can say that the wing is symbolic of the spirit at one level. Okay, so if you like, the breath or the air, which is a type of draft, which is conveyed, or the Elohim are conveyed with wings spiritually, which is aligned to heaven. But in addition, there is also Virgo and solar lunar symbolism, and I'm going to try and, if you like, tease the symbol of the Virgo and her relationship to the serpent out within this short deconstruction. Now, within the Hebrew paranomasia, there is a paranomasia or a diptych paranomasia on the Hebrew noun kanaf, which is a wing, which in the Aramaic kanath is a companion. And this is really understood to be a companion in spirit. In the Arabic, this would be a type of karin. So there is this, if you like, a relationship with kanaf, a wing, and kanaf, which is a companion or a companion spirit. We would say in the English a familiar spirit. Okay, so in the Arabic, Karin, which is a type of jinn or a companion or a familiar spirit, is related to Erin, which are the watchers. Again, within the Hebrew, Kanaf a wing, Kanath a companion. So archaically, this is a type of familiar spirit. And as was described in the passage of Isaiah, the seraphic being, which is a non-human angel, which looks like a serpent, has 6 wings. And this really is going into the Arabic wordplay, and again has astrological connotations. So, for example, in the Arabic, we see that there is a correspondence with the wording city, which is 6, and is a wordplay on sit, which is a lady. So in this respect, the 6 wings of the seraphim, we can say that they are contextual to the 6th house of the zodiac. Okay, so the 6th house of the zodiac is Virgo, hence city 6 and sit, which is a lady. Now, this lady is represented as a serpent. It's synonymous with the seraphim. So 6 wings are equated with the serpent. Hence in Arabic there is a correspondence with awa, which is the old Semitic word for a serpent, but is used also to denote Eve, the first woman. So there is Eve is represented as Virgo, which is a virgin. So this is a heavenly offspring, which is equated with the Watchers, and again is equated in the apocryphal traditions and the biblical traditions with the fall of the Anthropos, in particular the corruption of the seed of the Anthropos, which was the first human races, or the first 3 races which were human-like, the first sentient races. So this is a heavenly seed. Now within symbolism, the Virgo, the maiden, she holds in her hand a sheath of wheat, and I think that this is important because the symbol of wheat as an esoteric symbol. So the Arabic word kamar, wheat, is a pun on kamar, the moon. Now in Hebrew, the word kamar, moon, connotes the Hebrew word koma, which is a priest. So again, and again in the Greek koma, which would denote sleep. So again, there are these esoteric signifiers which relate to the moon, which relates to sleep, and which relates to the companion spirits, these familiar spirits, which are connected astrologically to Virgo and to the serpent, in particular combination of Virgo and the serpent. And this is why Virgo is often shown with a caduceus as well, which is a double serpent. She carries a caduceus, or sometimes she will carry a sheaf of wheat, which is a signifier of the moon. Now, the moon is a marker that is symbolic of the lunar priesthood, and traditionally in occult, and particularly it's found within Zoroastrian symbolism, the lunar vessel is a seed receptacle, and it is the foundation of the second creation. And so, if you like, there is this wordplay or close correspondence between Sitter Lady and Seth, which is the second creation, which is literally the foundation of the world, which was this second creation, or the planting of the Adamic seed, which in the Greek mystery religions is known as panspermia. And is related, as we said earlier, with the fall of the anthropos through the serpent or through the woman. As we said before, there is this synonym between the serpent and the woman, which is connected to the seraphim with 6 wings, City 6, Sit, which is a lady. So this correspondence with the seraphic host and the woman. Now, the symbolism of the lunar virgin, therefore, is often shown as a winged angel and carries the caduceus, or a double serpent. And as we mentioned before, this is emblematic of the seraphim. Now, Virgo's appearance within the 6th house of the zodiac, it appertains to the 6 days of creation. The 6 days of creation was the seeding of the earth in the book of Genesis, and is correlated in Greek philosophy with panspermia and the planting of the neophyte. Neophytus are the newly planted. Phuton, plant. Phot, which is light. So this is a heavenly offspring. This is really those who are seeded by the Ben Sira, the sons of a boat. But again, Sira, a boat in the Hebrew, is a diptych paranamesa of the Arabic word Sira, which is Sirius. So the sons of a boat are interchangeable with the sons of Sirius. Now the sons of Sirius can be represented as the sons of light, hence the correspondence with the seraphim, which is fire, in the Greek Sirius Aster, which is the scorching star. Now, the seraphim, therefore, are closely connected to the Tripartite Illuminati. Now, the Tripartite Illuminati are the 3 orders of Illuminati. So you have the Adamic seed, which would be man, which would be Ishman, Esh fire. You've also got the neophyte, the newly planted, Phuton plant, Phot, which is light, and then you've got the seraphim and Serapha, which is fire. So these are the 3 orders of the Illuminati. They connect in particular with the seraphic tradition, and Serapha, which would be fire, which would be used to denote Sirius. Now, as I've mentioned before, many of these astrotheological symbols are extremely complex, and therefore, unless you are an astronomer and you understand astrology and the complexities of astrology and numerical symbolism also, this is an extremely intricate subject. So here I'm only trying to offer you a very broad outline, because this actually goes into ancient science and is extremely complex. So, in relation to the book of Isaiah, we can say that this seraphim and its 6 wings are connected to Virgo, the 6th house of the zodiac. So there is this correspondence between Awa, which is Eve in the Old Arabic, in the Old Semitic, and we've got Awa, which is also a wordplay on the Old Semitic word, or a derivation of the Old Semitic for a serpent. So the Eve and the serpent are closely interconnected, and this would interconnect both with Sirius symbolism and also the house of Virgo, which would be identified with the 6 foundations of creation, or the 6 days of creation, which are aligned to panspermia and the second creation. So that's essentially a breakdown of the astrotheological symbolism of the seraphim. It's only a very tentative breakdown. It's a very basic level. It's much more complicated and would be aligned to planets and astrotheological symbolism. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this video. This is Pierre Sabak. If you have enjoyed this video, then please give me a thumbs up. Again, I would ask that you please pass these videos around, because I think it's very important to understand the esoteric symbolism behind the angels and the scaphological tradition, the study of angelic vessels within the classical and mythological tradition. And again, it also gives us background information into the occult study of ufology, and particularly understanding how ufology, when it's broken down, is actually based upon a private and a symbolic discourse. And therefore, in order to understand ufology, we really do have to understand scaphology. And it's only when we break down the symbolism of the scaphological tradition, or the classified tradition, classis and naval fleet, which is the naval tradition, appertaining to Malak, an angel, or Malak, a sailor, which are crew members of vessels, particularly the Ophanim wheels, which are spinning vessels, shining vessels, that we will understand the true origins of both humanity, but also the origins of ufology as well, and how this interplays with the symbolism found within religious discourse and within the mythological tradition. Okay, this is Pierre Sabak. Please give me a thumbs up. Let's try and make this a better world. Thank you very much. Thank you.